Can you paint us a picture of what the status quo right now before the ban starts, and what happens when one of our borrowers decides to shop for a rate?
Well, I'd be pleased to be able to do that, and we'll answer any questions that come up, because this is so important. And Brian, you're absolutely right. Honestly, the status quo has really been, for many people who knew about it, a nightmare. We sort of call it the Shark Tank. Here is the reality for the last few years. Your borrower, let let's call that borrower Sarah, decides that she would like to refinance. Now, that was probably happening, folks, to somebody who just wasn't happy. It wasn't happening to the folks who had a 3% mortgage that is now 10 years old and they had lots of equity. But Sarah might be calling not only for a brand new loan, she might be calling because maybe she needed a HELOC. Well, here's what happened. She wanted to refinance possibly, or a HELOC. So she called a lender, just one, and that lender pulls her credit. Boy, and tell them what happened from a technology perspective.
Sure. So within seconds of you showing up as that credit report pull, the credit bureaus will sell that data on as a trigger lead to 50 or sometimes 100 other aggregators. And who knows what goes on with your data once it reaches those aggregators. And so now, Sarah's phone is blowing up, 40 texts, 20 calls in the first hour. Meanwhile, Sarah herself just wanted to get a sense of, hey, like, what are potential options? Like, what might an actual rate look like? What are the amounts available? And as a byproduct of her just doing that initial analysis, she's now really faced with this subpar experience. And I think it's great when we're able to help consumers. And then also, as the person with that original relationship, is how do we actually protect Sarah from that event? And so that kind of goes back into the purpose of the trigger lead ban.
Wow. And so thanks, Moyen. And folks, for those of you who didn't understand that this was kind of going on behind the curtain, it is a real issue for us as servicers and as sub-servicers. You're at a constant risk of losing what could be a long-term relationship, whether that for you as the servicer or you as the lender, simply because the credit bureau sold access to your customer to the highest bidder.